What's up, guys? I got some really cool shit I want to show you tonight. I've been working on it for a while. I almost posted a couple videos, and I figured I would wait and show you the end product. Been vaping on my copper Scatua, or the copper by Scatua, whatever, with my TFE4 on here. Just trying to get well, I've got the tube mods, I might as well use them, right? I still take the box with me every day. Still use it quite a bit. At the rate that I've been using it, I'm good for like a week and a half on a battery, and I've got two of them with me, so... But I got some new batteries, so I've been using them in this, trying to get them broke in. No, they don't have the memory effect like nickel cadmium or I don't remember if lead acid have memory effect or not. Nickel metal hydride especially have a real bad memory effect if you leave them discharged. They'll stay discharged. It's listening. So I got four of these bad boys. These are LG HB6 cells. These are 1500 milliamp hour true 20C continuous 40C pulse. From what I have found, don't quote me, this is for your own safety. From what I've found, they say they're capable of 40C pulse for 3 seconds. So if you're not familiar with the C ratings, it's the same thing as on a LiPo. You multiply the amp hours by the C rating, gives you your continuous current discharge or pulse current discharge. Does my voice sound weird to you guys? I found that since I've had my wisdom teeth taken out, my mouth is kind of resettling now that it's all really starting to heal. And I feel like it's changing my voice a little bit. I can't tell if it is. It feels like it is. It might just be me losing my mind. You guys have listened to me talk a lot. What do you think? Anyways, 1500 milliamp hour true 20C continuous. So 1.5 amp hours times 20C gives you 30 amps continuous. 40 pulsed gives you 60 amps pulsed on this, supposedly for 3 seconds. My testing seems to confirm that substantially, and we will talk about that in a second. So I've got this copper by Scatua. My go-to tube mod for a couple of years, at least a solid year and a half, was my brass Nemesis. I've shown you guys that. I showed you how very recently I soldered it up, completely went through the whole tube, completely redid the mechanics in it, just trying to tune it up. And of course the copper by Scatua just blows the $30 brass Nemesis out of the freaking water. And for $150 new, it's sure as hell better. But I feel like almost every tube mod on the market is lacking. It's kind of the same how I feel about the RDAs. That's the whole purpose of me building the Maximus. The manufacturers build devices to suit tons of people. In a lot of cases, like this one, very well made devices, extremely well manufactured, tolerances and fit and everything on this is just phenomenal. My buddy just bought the Timepiece tube mod. He's actually got the battle deck ordered. He should have that tomorrow, and I'm going to check that thing out. It looks amazing. But that's almost a $500 setup for the Timepiece and the battle deck with the cap for it. That's outrageous. That's insanely expensive. That's beyond overpriced. For a manufactured device. they're not turning those pieces one at a time on a lathe by hand. They've probably got they definitely have a manufacturer, somebody churning these sumbitches out on a CNC mill, lathe, combination, whatever, in bulk. They're probably not paying more than $25 or $30 per piece. I mean, really, they don't cost that much to mass produce. It's just you can't buy 5. You gotta buy a bunch. But with all that being said, goes back to the same thing about the tube mods as it is with the RDAs. I don't feel like they are pushing the envelope, let's say. They're building insanely quality devices. These qualities meet fantastic quality. The devices meet fantastic quality standards. But even the competition grade tube mods, and I know I'm going to get a lot of fucking flack from you guys for this, magnets are bullshit. Fantastic switch functionality. Look up what happens when you induce when you apply voltage to copper with magnets there. Look up what happens when you drop a magnet down a copper tube. If you haven't seen that, or down an aluminum tube, the stronger the magnet, the heavier, or the stronger the effect. If you've ever seen it happen, you can actually take a copper pipe and drop an earth magnet down it, and it will slow down through the pipe, and then when it gets to the bottom, it drops again. Fantastic effect. I cannot remember the name of the effect. It has a similar reaction inside of a copper tube mod, except that you're running an extremely large amount of current through the magnets. Something like the timepiece, from what I can tell, I haven't had a chance to really jack with it yet. It looks like the magnets are designed not to come in contact with each other. But with something like that, you're inducing a magnetic field into it like that. You need a mechanical connection with something like that. The connection that the magnets make is not good enough. If you want power, if you want efficiency. Now, I'm going to catch a bunch of flack for that. If you have legitimate studies, or somebody has done some legitimate math, some testing, don't show me a video of somebody taking a brand new tube mod with a spring and a magnet and testing voltage drop. Show me that same mod 6 months down the road with both of them being used equally all the time. I guarantee you it's going to change. Brand new, yeah, the magnets are going to be fantastic. If you've got silver plated magnets fucking in this thing, yeah, it's going to work better than a copper spring. It's not going to last. I'm more than happy to look if any of you guys have anything to show me otherwise. Show me. I'd really like to see it. With all that being said, this has all been a lead up. Kind of. Yeah, it's like a baby's arm holding an apple. I got my Maximus on here. This is not a manufactured production level tube mod. There's the firing switch for this motherfucker. This is my own design. I have yet to name it because it is 100% a one-off. Do not ask me to make you one of these. I have 10 hours of machine time in this. 10 hours. That is not the polishing time and all the that's just on the lathe turning the stuff, turning the material, the product, whatever you want to call it, the stock. As you can see, the ground contact is copper. The positive contact inside is copper. Everything else is 454 naval brass. I use the same nylon that I use for the insulator on the Maximus for my ground insulator and for the 510 insulator. These LGHB6s. I've been using them in the tube mod with the TFE4 for about 2 weeks. Well, about a week and a half. Just trying to get them broke in. They do have a break-in time. If you've ever attempted to use brand new cells and they didn't seem like they were hitting very hard, it takes 10 or 15 charge discharge cycles to get them broken in and get the capacity up to where it needs to be. They're not perfect right out of the gate. They've got some break-in time that they have to go through. But with that being said, now that I'm finally starting to get mine where they're functional, they're blowing my VTC4s out of the fucking water. The build that I have in this is what I intend to use at the competition. What's today? Today is Wednesday, so 3 days time. I'm going to a local cloud competition. I built this tube mod specifically so that I can actually start competing in the comps again, since my boxes are not allowed. This mod is 28 millimeters. It's actually 27 and a half. So you can see the difference between the Maximus and the mod. My preliminary voltage drop tests against my copper Scatua at 0.1 ohms. This is obsolete now compared to this. Almost 0.2 volts higher out of this than I'm getting out of that. This is like a 3.2. No, it was higher than that because this was 3.2 and I was getting 3.6 with my VTC4s. The build that is in this right now, which I'm not even going to show you because I'm using the front camera and I know I can't see it, is a triple parallel 22 gauge nichrome 80 dual coil, 5 wraps on it's a step up from the 964s. I don't remember what it is, like 0.14, 140 thousandths, 145 thousandths. Right at 0.06 ohms, just right, probably like a 0.07, but it should be right at a 0.06, and I will be checking that tomorrow along with checking legitimate voltage drop with this build between the copper Scatua and my tube mod. I feel like this is a really good benchmark to test it against because these are such well-made devices. But with that being said, I first tried my VTC4s in this, my good, well broken in VTC4s with this build. Within 3 hits, the batteries were ridiculously hot. They didn't discharge too far, but they were way too hot. So I figured, what the hell, let's try the HB6 and see how it does. 3 hits and the battery's not warm. I mean, just barely. Crazy powerful cells. A huge difference in the hit. Well, you can kind of see them there. They are centered up between the posts. This build has only one purpose, and that's to get vapor out of it. The only reason I use 22 is because I don't have the 16 gauge nichrome 80 that I'm supposed to be getting. I'll actually be picking it up when I go to the comp, hopefully, and I'll be building there, maybe. Now, I've already been playing with this battery, so I have a fresh one. I do label all of mine. That way I know which one I've got, which one's charged, not whatever. Oh, let's blow some clouds. I would put that pretty even with pretty much any of the clouds that I can get out of the box. Yeah. Barely warm to the touch. We're going to put a fresh battery in it, just for shits and giggles. They are only 1500 milliamp hours, and they go dead pretty quick. But purely for competition grade, why not? That's insane. I may not even need to use the 16 gauge. Yeah, that's good. That's perfectly fine. I attempted to record some of the lathe time that I used that I did on this, but 10 hours of it, and not always having the camera on hand or even my tripod to do it properly, it's actually at work, which is why the camera is where it is right now. It's a little beyond me to get that much time into it. And the video that I do have is mainly just of machining the tube. There's not a lot of video on it at all. Got to get it right in the middle though. It is handmade, by the way. Ugh. Just the sheer vapor production off of this is amazing. I will get some good voltage drop tests tomorrow, comparing it to the copper. I'll use freshly charged batteries in both, check the voltage of each of them. I'll be changing the RDA between the two and testing the voltage drop. Based on what I checked at 0.1 ohms, this is most definitely going to kick this one's ass. Been a long time since I got a good vape off of a freaking tube mod. Let's blow some more clouds real quick. She's vaping like a sumbitch, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed and vape on.